All right. Hello, everyone. Noelle Cruz, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global. We also have Jamie Hughes, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global. And Brooke Phillips could not join us tonight, but we are so excited that you are here. We have a very, very special guest, and I'm so excited to introduce her to you guys. So Krystin Kirkendall is actually a Presidential Diamond. She's been with the business for 3 years. She has 2 kids at home, and she has built her business almost exclusively on Instagram. So you guys get out a pen and a piece of paper if you don't have one already. Get ready to take a ton of notes. Krystin, I'm really excited to learn from you. Let me go ahead and unmute you. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I got myself some keto coffee, so I'm like good to go now. I'm excited.
My husband's about to bring me some, and I'm really excited. So tell everyone who you are and where you're from and just a little bit of your backstory.
Okay, so like you said, my name is Krystin Kirkendall, and I joined this business in April of 2015, so almost my 3-year mark, so it's really crazy to think about. I am actually from like the smallest town ever in Oklahoma. And I found this business through Instagram. I didn't have like a huge following or anything, but that's how I originally found this business. And when I found the business, I was actually struggling. I was a stay-at-home mom for 4 months. My husband was like working so hard to make ends meet, but it just wasn't working. And when I saw this, I literally jumped on it, and I was so excited. I just kind of like went all in. I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what even products we had. I literally had no idea about anything. I just knew that I needed $500 a month, literally, to help us out. And I ended up promoting to Emerald in my first 3 weeks. And I went triple diamond within 4 months, and then to Presidential before my 1-year mark. So it was all really crazy, but I did do all of that through social media, and probably 98% of that was through Instagram.
That is absolutely insane. Okay, so there's probably a bunch of people on here that are like, oh my gosh, I'm going for Emerald right now, and I've been in for a year. How did you go Emerald in 3 weeks? So that is just absolutely incredible. So tell us, I know that you're like the Instagram queen, so like talk to us about anything and everything that is working for you. What do your daily habits look like?
Okay, so before I even get out of bed in the morning, I make sure that I follow. Right now, like Instagram is being really mean, and you can only follow like 10 people at a time.
I'd rather you have grapes or
I don't think somebody's not muted. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Hold on.
It's okay. Oh, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
I had to approve it for some reason. That was weird. Okay. So yeah, before I get out of bed, I make sure that I follow like 10 people. That's all you can do at the moment. So that's what I do. And I message 10 people also, either people who like my post or just my followers. And I send those messages. I follow those people. And then from there on out, every hour I'm doing the same thing. It literally takes like 30 seconds, maybe a minute to do it. And so I just do that all day long. And I make sure that I post twice a day. Usually I post first thing in the morning. And then I usually post like around noon or after 5 o'clock when most people have their phones out. And then I use my story all day long. So every single morning pretty much every single morning I do a video of me making keto coffee, how I make it, what it does, just like how much I love it. Now I've been doing the ketones because I started those and I love them because I do follow the keto lifestyle. And they're amazing. So I have added that into there. Just like my life, I don't do everything about It Works in my story. I kind of just like show people how my day is. I put positive quotes up there, what me and my girls are doing that day, just like random things to let them get to know me, since the algorithm is so crazy. I use my story to reach out to people so that more people see my stuff. And so the stories have like changed everything for me. They really just have made it to where I can be more connected with my followers. And so those are things that I do all day, like every single day, pretty much.
Okay. So first of all, guys, if you have questions for Krystin, post them in the chat. Okay. We will try to get to as much as we can in this short amount of time. Yay, my keto coffee is here. Sorry.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. Here it is. See, I'm having decaf with my keto creamer because I'm trying to increase my fats, and I had a keto go. If you guys haven't had the keto go yet, holy cow. I had one at like 4:00 today, and I'm like buzzing. Like, I can't even tell you. I have so much energy. So if you haven't gotten those yet, I feel like I'm addicted. That's a bad thing, but I feel amazing. Okay.
I actually do the ketones and the keto go together with water as like a pre-workout. And I was not hungry all day today. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to eat something just because I haven't eaten food. But I was not hungry all day. It was crazy.
That's insane. I'm like, I fall more in love with our products every time I use a new one. And I just, like, I don't even, like, if you guys have not ordered these keto products, you've got to get on them. They're just incredible. Okay. So you wake up in the morning and you follow 10 people. I'm going to ask you specifically, what is your method? Hold on. I got to mute some people. Okay. If you guys are not, mute yourself, please. I think I got everybody. What's your method? What's your preferred method to follow people?
So I usually go to places and I just type in a state, and I'll either click a restaurant or a college or like a store, anything like that. And then I'll click on it and I will go to, it'll pull up like the popular pictures that were tagged in that area. And then I follow the people who liked those pictures. So those are active people on Instagram that are liking photos. And usually, like, especially if you go to like a university or something like that, they're definitely mostly females and also over the age of 18. So that's like one of my favorites, or like just a restaurant, or I don't do hashtags or anything like that. I just go through the places. Or sometimes even I just follow people who follow the people that I follow. Like, I just go to their followers and follow people so that we have that mutual person in common and they are more likely to accept.
Okay. Okay. So you said when you get up also, so, I mean, how many times a day are you doing the follow 10, message 10 thing? Like, how many times a day are you doing that?
Every hour that I'm awake. So, like I said, it literally takes 30 seconds. So I have alarms. Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm home or doing stuff. Like, there are days when obviously, like, I'm driving and I can't do it or something like that. But I have alarms set for every hour. And I just, whenever it goes off, I just stop what I'm doing. I send the messages, I follow, and then I go back to what I was doing. And it's really easy to get my stuff done, like at the house with my kids and all that stuff, and work doing it that way. So it just works really well for me. So I try to get out, like, obviously 100 messages a day is like the least amount that I'm going to send. And then I always want to follow like 100 to 300 people a day.
Okay. So what kind of messages are you sending? What's working for you? Are you specifically targeting distributors? Are you doing both? Like, what are you doing?
So I actually don't message for distributors. I'm not against it. I just get a lot of people through my post. And so I just message for customers. And then if anyone turns down the customer option, then I present the distributor option and then go from there. And usually I get potentials out of that. But I specifically message for customers. So sometimes I'll target just one product and I'll just be like, hey, would you be interested in doing my 90-day cleanse challenge, and kind of give a little bit about it, like not the price or anything like that. I just give a little bit of info. I always try to keep them short and sweet. I always give a compliment, and or I'll just say I'm looking for a 90-day product tester, or I'll say something that's been working well lately is just saying like, hey girl, question. And they say what? And then I ask them about being a product tester, about testing a certain product, because them responding to you is also helping your algorithm, because they just changed everything on Instagram. So that's one thing that I'm trying to like basically. And that's one way to like get a lot of people like interacting with you, whether they say yes or no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Are you there? You're a little bit frozen. Okay.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sorry. Sometimes like my internet is not good. So literally we've had Zooms where just everything crashes and I'm just gone. So I'm sorry.
I live in the middle of nowhere, so I understand.
Okay. So Brittany asked, do you look through their profile before sending the follow request?
Kind of, like, definitely before messaging. I look
Mhm.
every single person's profile, make sure I'm not messaging a distributor or a 12-year-old, following, I just follow. I don't really look at their profile to follow. I just follow them because I just go to people who like it, and I click 10 people on the profile on private. When I accept them or with a different like company that's competing or something like that, then I won't accept the request, and I'll just unfollow them.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. Love it. This is a really good question. Do you message people who like your posts?
Yes, but how I like to message is just through my followers, the people that follow me and I follow back. There was like a point in time where I had gotten through everybody. And so I started messaging because, I'm sure like I miss people. So if I have a picture that has nothing to do with It Works, then I will go to that picture and I'll message the people who like it.
Mom, be very careful of my doll.
Okay.
If he breaks it, you're going to be so mad.
Okay, he won't break it. Sorry. She's playing dolls with my husband, so I think she was tired. Sorry. Am I still there? People keep calling me for some reason. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, so I do like sometimes, but that's not really my go-to. Like what I mainly try to do is just message my followers, honestly. And I start from the bottom of my followers. So the people who have been following me the longest, and I start with them and then I move my way up. I don't message somebody as soon as they follow me or anything like that. But if I do, like if I need to be really fast, because sometimes it takes a little bit to scroll through your followers until you get the hang of it really. If I need to be really fast, then I will like go through people who like my picture. If I have a picture like that has a lot of likes or something, and message them that way. But usually I just go through my followers.
Okay, so tell everyone how to go through your followers from the oldest to the newest.
Okay, so literally there's a couple ways that I do it. Like sometimes I just switch it up, but the first way I started doing it, so I started doing this really like I've always messaged, but the way I did do it now, I started doing last year in January, and I was averaging like 30 to 40 loyal customers every single month. And so what I did was I just click on the people who follow me on my page. I scroll all the way down until it won't let me scroll anymore. And you can just sit there and like not even pay attention and just scroll until I get to the bottom. And if I follow them back, I click on their profile. I click message and I send them a message. And then you can just go back and it'll take you to the next person. Like it'll take you back to your list. Another thing that you can do is you can search the alphabet just like you can on Facebook. So in the search bar, when you click followers and click the search bar, you can type in A, B, C, D. But that's going to bring up like if they have an A in any part of their name. So something that I've done recently that I really liked is typing in like popular names. Like for Allison, I'll just do A-L-I or A-L-L, and it'll bring up all of those people. And so I'll scroll to the bottom of those and message them and then move on to like a different name. So that kind of like targets it more, I guess.
Awesome.
Like narrows it down a little bit.
Yeah, I personally like to just go to my profile and click on my followers and just scroll to the bottom. Like I feel like that is so simple, and you can kind of just figure out where you left off, just that looks familiar, and then you just click their name and check if you message them. I love that. Okay, so is your profile public or private?
Private. Don't have very good luck with public profile, so I like private because it doesn't give people time to judge what I do, which it's not really on my site anyways. Like if you go to my Instagram, if you go to my Instagram, you can't like immediately tell that I'm a distributor, but I just like the fact of it being private so that people don't, if they do see something, they don't automatically judge me and they have a chance to like see my post. And that's another thing is like a lot of times I accept my follow requests late at night. Like if I wake up with Andy to give her a bottle or something, that's like 2 a.m. I'll accept everybody because they're probably not awake. And I can, that's another way of like me adding them without them being able to just like instantly creep on me and then go unfollow me back.
Mm-hmm. And do you accept everything?
Not that everybody does that, but I just feel like Huh?
No, I think that's great. I love that tip to just follow them like in basically an inactive time. So if you guys are up late at night, I love that. Do you allow every single person who sends you a follow request to follow you no matter what?
No. I look at their profile, and if I can immediately tell they're a distributor, I usually don't, just because I like to keep my Instagram for my followers and my team. What?
That's not playing with me.
Go tell them to play with you.
Hold on. Wait, can we dance?
So, what?
I gotta go tell you something.
Oh my gosh, sorry. So I try to do it like in the middle of the night or like just randomly at night. So, but I don't accept everyone. I don't accept people usually who are distributors, especially if I don't know the person. I don't accept male followers. Just the people that I follow, because sometimes I don't know how with my profile being private, but random people still try to follow me, so I don't know. But I just look at their profile really quick and then accept the people who I think would be good potentials.
Awesome. And so do you use like Captivate or Cleaner or any of those good apps for following and unfollowing?
Okay, so I used to use Cleaner, and it was the most amazing thing ever until it. Like, I think
I love you, Mommy. I missed you.
Oh, I love you too. I used to use Cleaner, so now I use Cleaner for unfollowing. Okay.
Daddy's not playing with me.
I know. My husband does the same thing to my kids sometimes. He needs to play with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has stuff all over her face. So anyways, I
drink of
okay.
this.
Yes, can you please let me do my Zoom?
I'm gonna drink.
Okay, you can have a drink.
He's like,
I'm sorry.
I want to help. I want to help coach.
Oh, Cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay, so or Captivate. So Captivate used to be amazing, and I would use night mode and follow people. But then I noticed that when I was using it, since the algorithm changed, that I'm not getting followers back. So I stopped using it. So I stopped using it for that reason. Okay, Ella, please. Your dad had one job, and
one job, babe.
Okay,
one job.
I have squishy.
Yeah, she saw it. That's awesome. So what I'm trying to say is I only use Captivate for unfollowing now because I don't feel like it's effective for following anymore since the algorithm changed. And this is like several people have noticed this, and I don't think I'm the only one. And so I just follow myself, and I get a lot more followers back now. I don't know what it is that does that, but something, I don't know if like Instagram caught on to Captivate. I don't know, but it was messing up for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Do you accept followers from other direct sales companies? I feel like you answered that, but you said no, you don't.
Right. I mean, if it's like the thing, like if it's like Unique or Makeup or something like that, yes. But if it's a competing company, then no, because usually I don't feel like there's a point.
Right. Okay. Do you try to keep a certain number? Let's see. Do you try to keep a certain ratio for followers to following?
Okay, so usually, I mean, it won't let you follow more than 7,500 no matter how many followers you have. So I'm always pretty close to 7,500. So when I get to like 7,000, which right now I have over 11,000 followers, so it's a little bit different now than it was when I first started. But once it gets close to 7,000, I start unfollowing until I get to like 6,000. And I just use Captivate to unfollow people who don't follow me back. And then whenever I first started, I remember that I would follow. I get them really confused, but I use Captivate.
Do you?
If I said Cleaner, I used to use Cleaner.
Okay, because I use Cleaner to unfollow, but I use Captivate to follow. But I didn't know you could use Captivate to unfollow, even though it's made by it's the same maker. So you use Captivate to unfollow.
Yes. I used to use it for both, but now I just, like I said, I just use it for unfollowing. But yeah, I used to use Cleaner too, but since Captivate did both, I just started using that one for everything.
Okay, I gotcha.
Especially since they have the cloud service, and you can just put them all in your cloud, and it unfollows them for you all day long. It's really, I love it. But so whenever I first started, I would follow Monday through Friday or Saturday, and then I would use one day to just unfollow all day long, so that the people that I followed throughout the week, I could unfollow them on that day, just to keep I always tried to keep it at least pretty even whenever I was first starting, because I started out with only like 200 people on Instagram. Like I didn't even use Instagram at all. I just like used it to creep on other people, I guess. So I started building my followers that way, and that's what I would do every week. And I did that all the way up until like I got over that 7,500 mark, I guess, to where it was enough to where it compensated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. So you guys, we have some questions about the apps. You guys, Captivate and Cleaner are Instagram apps that you can download from the App Store. I know Captivate does cost. Cleaner, I feel like Cleaner didn't cost any money. I feel like Cleaner's free. But if you download Captivate, I did a Zoom like on Instagram and went over Captivate. Just if you download it, you get it. You just have to dig into how to use it. Okay, so literally just get it and figure out how to use it because it's amazing. But like Kristen said, like if you are doing the night mode things, it might mess with the algorithm a little bit. And I've definitely have seen that. So I personally have been following local people and have noticed a difference in the response that I'm getting for sure.
Yes, and another thing with following is I've noticed, and this only obviously works if they have a public profile, but if you follow someone and start interacting on their page immediately, like you will get them following you back a lot faster. And that also has something to do with the new algorithm. So interaction is like one of the biggest things right now. So if I follow a public profile, I just go through and like 5 of their pictures or something really fast.
Okay, so that was going to be another one of my questions. And Jamie, whenever you have questions for Kristen, just hop in here because I feel like I'm trying to get all of like the common questions and then questions that I would ask you. So, so kind of walk us through. If you go through and you follow 10 people and 5 of those profiles are public, you said right away you're going to go through and you're going to like their profile and then you're going to go through and you're going to like and comment on like 5 photos.
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
I usually just like their pictures because it's a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
I just go to like the list view and just like 5 and then I go back. I like to do things quick so that I can get back and like, manage my time well. So that's what I usually do. And that's just that's like if I know like whenever I'm doing like through places or something, I can tell that their profile is public. And so that's whenever I would do that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Awesome. Okay. Jamie, I know you're going to hop in here and ask some questions. I'm sure you have some. But Kristen, what would you say of you message a minimum of 100 people a day? You're sending a minimum of 100 messages a day. What would you say is your response rate that people even reply back to you?
So I actually wrote this. I did like a numbers thing one just because you're sending customers. So if I send 100 messages, I probably get 20 responses. I always get phone numbers. I don't have conversations through Instagram direct messenger. So I usually get, out of those 20 people, I usually get like 12 phone numbers. And then I have, maybe like 8 potentials out of that. Like I wrote it down one day. It's something close to that. But then it also depends on the day. Like some days you get a lot more response and I'll sign customers on the spot. And some days like I'll send out 150 messages and nobody will respond. So it honestly just depends. And that's why like I do this every single day. Because there will be one day whenever everybody sees this message and I get so many people talking to me. So I just keep doing it every day and I just know that I'm planting seeds. And I'm sure you guys hear that a lot in this business, but it is the 100% truth. And that's why I do it it doesn't bother me to like not get responses anymore. Like I don't know if it really ever has because I've always like kind of had my blinders on since I joined this business and I just knew like why I was doing this. And it wasn't for the people that were telling me no, it's for all the people that were going to tell me yes. So I literally just message every day and then I just wait for them to come to me because I know like the right people are going to come to me at some point in time. So that's kind of like my daily motto. Like I know that the right people are going to come to me today. So I'm just going to message until they do.
Yeah, I love that. And oh, go ahead.
No, but I was just going to say that I use text replacement for messaging because you also don't get blocked as easily as you do when you copy and paste. Even though you're doing 10 messages an hour, like I mean, if you have a newer Instagram, like you can still get blocked for going too fast. So I just use text replacement because for some reason, I guess like the copy and paste can be marked more as spam than text replacement. So if you don't know how to use text replacement, it's in your settings. It's really easy. You can probably Google it actually if you have an iPhone, and it's a lifesaver.
Oh. Okay, awesome. No, I love that some days you message 150 people and you get no responses. So, I mean, if you have somebody on your team who's saying, well, I messaged 10 people today and I didn't hear back from anyone, or, I heard back from 2 people and they told me no, what would be your typical response for that?
Oh, I say this a lot because I get that a lot. Like, usually if people come to me and they say like nobody wants to join or nobody wants to sign up or nobody's interested, I'm like, my first question is, how many people have you messaged? Well, that's your problem. Like you have to reach out as many people as you can. And like what I have literally told myself from the very beginning of this business, people who tell me no, people are negative, like all of those things, like those people are not paying my bills. They're not coming over and writing checks. They're not helping me in any way. And so it doesn't hurt my feelings. That's okay. Like not everybody is interested. And maybe you'll notice is whenever you start messaging people, even the ones that don't respond, they're going to start liking your pictures. So that means now they're watching you. So I just usually tell them like, go and message more people. Like there is success in numbers. So the more people you message, the more seeds you're planting, the more people that are going to come to you. Like Jade Hooper is my ambassador, one of my ambassador uplines. And she has a story that like sticks in my head that she messaged for like 60 days and nobody was responding. Nobody sent her anything like back, they weren't interested, whatever. And then like literally on like day 61, she woke up to like 40 messages in her inbox. And she was just like, okay, like this is why I've been doing what I'm doing, because people are now watching me. And I'll have people that I messaged in November that just messaged me back like 2 days ago. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't even see this. Or, hey, is this spot still open? Like, I might be too late, Mm-hmm. And so it just like really pays off to message, even if people aren't responding or they're telling you no.
Okay. So how and why do you take people from Instagram direct message to texting?
Okay. So literally the first thing I say whenever someone tells me yes or responds, I say, okay, awesome. What's your number? I'll text you all about it. It's easier than DM with like a heart or something. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people give me their phone number. And for me, text messaging is more personal. And I feel like I have a better connection with them just because we have a phone number. I have an iPhone, so I can voice message them now. I can, save their number in my phone. I can talk to them. And also like I hate how Instagram like breaks up the messages. So then I feel like it just throws me off to have to like cut off my message in half and then like send another half, especially potential distributors, because my descriptions are longer. And another thing with phone numbers is a lot of people don't check their direct messaging box like we do, because they don't really care. Like they have no need to check their DMs, like just to be a customer. Like they don't really, that's not like the top of their priority list. So having their phone number, it's right there in front of them. And what? Okay, awesome. And so I just get way better results getting their phone number.
Okay, I love that. That's perfect. So let's say you message 100 people in a day, 20 people respond, 80 people don't respond. Is there a point in time where you go back and you follow up with those 80?
So actually what I do might be a little bit different. I don't know. But what I do is I scroll through my direct messages and I just unsend and resend. And if I sent them, yeah, there are some instances where I do message for distributors. It's not very often, but if I did and they didn't respond, I just unsend it and I send them a message about being a customer. Or if I messaged them 6 months ago about being a customer and they didn't respond, I just unsend it and send a different customer message. Because if I sent specifically for the cleanse, like maybe they're not interested in the cleanse. So I'll unsend that and just send like a message about being a product tester. And if they haven't read it, like still, and it was 6 months ago, I'll look and see like when their last picture they posted, and it could have been like before I even sent them that message. Like they're obviously not active on Instagram, so that also helps me unfollow them. And also, whenever you scroll through your direct messages and you unsend and resend, there's no limit on how many messages you can send. So you can literally do that all day without getting blocked just by going through your DMs and unsending and resending messages. I don't do it like obviously if I sent the message like a week ago. But if it's a few months back, like I'm doing that, like sometimes at night I'll just sit there and do that. Mm-hmm. And I do get a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, like they never even know I've ever messaged them. So
That's awesome. Okay. So question on your follow-up. What is your follow-up method? I'm assuming that this is for people that have not signed up. So for people that maybe you have talked to but that didn't sign, what is your follow-up method for that?
So every 2 days I message the people who I had like got their numbers and had conversations with. Either they forgot to respond or they said they were going to order or whatever. If they said they were going to order and they didn't order, they go on just a notebook paper list, and I follow up with them literally every day until they basically tell me to stop, because they told me that they were going to order right then. And so I believe that they really want to. And I'm just like, I'm not like rude or pushy. And like, obviously there's a limit where I'm like, okay, like maybe I should back off for a minute. But usually I'm just like, hey, like, did you forget about me or something like that? Just simple, and get them to order. And then I follow up with everybody else. And every night, like I write down everybody who I talked to that day. And I follow up every single Friday, no matter what. But usually, like if I talked to them 2 days ago, I'm going to follow up with them again in 2 days if we were like having an active conversation about the products.
That's awesome. So do you organize your follow-ups by their Instagram name or by their name? Like their name.
So a really cool thing you can do with your iPhone, I don't know anything about Android. I'm really sorry. So if you have an Android, I'm sorry. But with iPhone, social profiles in their okay, so on Instagram, you can click copy profile URL on their profile, like where the 3 dots are, and then I paste that to their contact in my phone. So I can just go to their contact and click on it, and I go straight to their Instagram. So what I do, like in my follow-up, I have this binder. Sorry, I have this since I started, so there's like a ton in here, but like I write down. What?
Can we turn the candle on?
No.
Why?
Because I can't right now. So I just write down, I just made this on Word, like it's really simple. I just put their name, so I put their Instagram name, their Instagram, and what product they were interested in. And then if I get their phone number, I just put /text, and so that way I know that their name is saved in my phone. And that's is what I use to follow up every Friday. And then I have like a different one for like the same thing. Yeah, and so then I have the different one, but the same for potential distributors too. So it's really awesome whenever like the $5,000 bonus or whatever comes out, and I can just go straight through all of my potentials distributors right there, and it just makes it really fast. And I just type in like their name or their Instagram name, and obviously like if I like to copy their URL to the profile as well, because sometimes people change their Instagram name. And so like you can't find them, but if you copy the URL into your with the name, so that's really cool.
Awesome. So you said you get the best responses from just messaging people about being a 90-day product model with a certain product. Perfect.
Well, or I'll just say like, do you want to be a 90-day product tester or whatever? And if they say yes, like I'll say, okay, phone number. I'll get their phone number, and I'm like, hey girl, it's Kristen. So I have a spot open for one of the following products, and I'll list like my 4 favorites, which is usually like keto coffee, cleanse, Kirkendalls, and wraps or greens.
Mm-hmm.
And do any of these sound like something you would prefer? And then whenever they respond, like I just give them a description of that product. And then I always end it with a question like, does that sound like something you'd be interested in? If they say yes, then I say, okay, awesome. I tell them how much it is, how the 90-day challenge works. Does that sound good? And they say yes. Okay, yay, awesome. So do you want me to place the order for you real quick, or do you want me to walk you through it on my website? And if they want me to place it, I obviously get their information. If they want me to send it, I always say, okay, here's my link. Let me know when you're on my website. And that's something that like changed a lot for me, because I used to send the whole instructions and then they would never do it. Mm-hmm. But knowing whenever I say like, let me know when you're on my website, I know they're there. And then I send them the rest of the instructions. That's like a walkthrough. Like I tell my team all the time, I'm like, I stick to the script. Like it makes my conversations fast. It gets to the point. I know what they like. And I'll obviously throw in, like, if they ask questions or whatever, like, I'll personalize it to them. Mm-hmm. But I pretty much, for the most part, just stick to that same script. And I have all of these text replacements saved to my phone. So it's super fast and easy. So that's, like, I just kind of walked you through the whole conversation. But just so you know how I talk to people, I guess.
So do you have a personal profile or a business profile on Instagram?
Since it's private, you can't have a business. So I just have it as private and personal.
And I mean, I don't know if you can talk about having a business profile or not having a business profile. Like, do you have any opinion on that?
So I have done it before, but like I said, like anytime my profile is public, I just don't have a lot of success. But on the other hand, like Courtney Bohr, she has a business profile and she has 32,000 followers. So it's just different. I think it depends on the person. I don't know. Like obviously Courtney Bohr is freaking like model status. Like everybody's like obsessed with her. So of course, like it probably doesn't matter like what she has on her Instagram. She's still going to get a ton of followers. But me personally, I just, private has always worked for me. I have switched back and forth. I've tested both of them and I like private so much better. I get way more responses. And so that's just what I do.
Okay. And then Shelly's asking, when you follow someone, do you immediately put their name in your binder? You don't put names in your binder until you've had a conversation with them, correct?
Yeah. Sometimes if they say not right now or no thank you or not at this moment, like I'll write their name down. I'll just kind of like make a little note, like, or some people, you know, like around Christmas, they're like follow up in 2 months or whatever. Like I'll kind of write that out if we didn't have a full conversation. But usually like what I do is if I get their phone number or if they said yes, then I put them in my binder. And another thing I was going to say about the phone numbers is some people won't respond when you ask for their phone number. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. And so I'll just go back and be like, hey girl, I'm sorry if I freaked you out by asking for your phone number. I'm just really excited to talk to you about these products. So if you'd rather talk on here, that's totally fine. And so usually they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, we can do that. Or they're like, no, I'm sorry, I forgot to send it to you. Here's my phone number. So either way, like I usually get a response out of them. And so, that's what I usually do, like, for that, because I know a lot of people, like, on my team have asked me that, like, what if they don't give it to you if it freaks them out? So I just kind of go back and let it be known that I wasn't trying to freak them out. I just like texting over direct messaging.
Yeah, and I love that you're sending those messages throughout the day, and then at the end of the night, you're sitting down with your binder and you're putting all that information in from everybody that you've talked to that entire day. Because then, when your girls are asleep, like everything's kind of calmed down, you can sit down and you can do that organization.
Yeah, and it's so like I'm not organized in my regular life, but like in my business life, I am organized, and I've been like this. Like literally, I remember the second day that I joined, people were talking to me, and I was like, "How am I gonna remember all these people? Like, my brain is not made for this." So I just started writing them down. And I was like getting on Word, and I used to be an insurance agent, so I did a lot of stuff like in the office. So I know like how to make basic Word documents. What?
Fine.
Good. And So I just like made a Word document and I've used it ever since and it's worked really well. So yeah, I love it. And sometimes it's really cool. I'm like, wow, like I got 25 phone numbers today, or like I did this or that, like it's really cool. And once they sign, I highlight their name in my binder. So that's also a way that I can like follow up with them, or like I know who not to follow up with. Like I can follow up with them about their products, but I know I don't have to follow up with them like when it comes to like a BOGO or just a weekly follow up.
Yeah, that's so good. I love it. How do you keep track and go back and find the people that you talked to that day? Just through your direct message, through your DM inbox. Yeah,
or I just scroll through like the phone numbers I got, because usually like as soon as I get their phone number, I save their name in my phone. Whatever, if they don't have a name on Instagram, then I just put like their Instagram name as their contact name. I do the copy URL thing like while I'm waiting for them to text me back pretty much. And then I just go through and like write all the names down for that day. So it takes, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how many people I talk to. It's not time consuming at all. And it's worth it in my opinion.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, what is your, are you doing your steps to success once a month, twice a month, not every month? Like what's your typical month look like?
So I usually complete my steps to success at least 2 times a month. Usually I have a lot more customers. It's kind of what I'm focusing on at that month, I guess. Like there have been times where I've signed a ton of distributors and not very many customers, but usually like I always get my distributors there for little customers or help them. Like if they're not doing it, like I usually can do it by myself. I would say like I average like 6 to 8 distributors a month and maybe like 10 to 20 LCs a month. It kind of just like depends. But like last year I remember like January literally through August I enrolled at least 25 customers a month. So it was just like I was sitting down and I was doing everything I needed to do. And I know like every time I get back to that I do it again. And it's not even like, it blows my mind every time because I'm like, wow, like I'm working way less harder than I usually do trying to sign customers. And it's just because I'm doing it the way I know how. And anytime I try to change it, that's whenever all goes, where. So I just try not to do that.
That's perfect.
I just keep it simple and follow my schedule and everything's good.
And then Amanda asked, how do you organize your people in your phone? Do you put like PLC or PDT in front of their name, or how do you do that?
Yeah, so one thing I started doing that helped me too was I put like I've always done like PDT next to their name, PLC, and then I have like a certain little heart. I don't really know why, I just do. I guess it's a habit. I have been putting like PDT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just so I know like how many I have. It's just like something for me to keep track of how many potentials I have if I don't want to go count it on my binder. So that's a little bit extra, but usually like I always put PLC, PDT next to their name. And then I also use the note section in the contacts where I can write like, especially for PDTs, if they're like, I have kids, I work too many jobs, like why they want to join, I put that in the notes. So every time I follow up, I can kind of bring that up. And I also use those notes to like find life posts to use. Like I use those for like my target, you know what I mean? Like someone who works 2 jobs or someone who's in college, like whatever the reason why they want to join. And I always ask every single potential distributor that I talk to why like they would need this business. And so I put that in the notes and then I use it to follow up and also to make life posts to target certain people.
That's awesome. That's so good. Well, thank you so much for being on tonight. I'm so excited. I know that our team has just gotten on Instagram like in the last 6 months. I know I was on Instagram in 2014, like way back in the day, and then Instagram like closed my account. And then I was just like, well, I'll just do Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
For me. And I built a presidential on Facebook and, belly to belly. But I love Instagram. I feel like it's so much fun. And like, it's like a game and it's so much fun. And I feel like people are nice on Instagram where they might not be nice on Facebook. You know what I mean? She's frozen.
Personal, because I don't mean that to be done.
What'd you say?
Am I better? Am I better now? Okay, I heard you say she's frozen. So, I don't mean to say like, Instagram isn't personal, because it is. Like, you can still build connections, but it's not as personal as Facebook. And people don't take every single follow request or message to heart. Like, they're not like meltdown if you add them as a friend, you know, like they're more open to having followers and talking to you. And like, so many people that I message are like, yes, I've been seeing your posts. I'm so happy you messaged me. Like, I've been wanting to message you, you know, or, just so many different things. And like, another thing too is like, if I have a conversation with someone and they like ghost me and don't write me back, I'll start commenting and liking on all their pictures, like, hey, I'm still here. Like, not saying that, but I'm just like messaging and commenting, and usually they respond. So interacting is huge. And I was going to tell you guys too, like, another huge thing that has been helping me on Instagram this month, since they changed everything. Like, well, I think they changed it like January, but like, interacting is, obviously, I've said that a million times, like one of the biggest things. And two, like, commenting on your team's posts. Like, we always help each other comment, because as soon as someone comments, and if you respond within that first hour, which is really crazy, but that's just like the rules, your post is going to get boosted to the top of everybody's newsfeed. And so that's something that we try to do. Like, if I post, I'm like, hey guys, I just posted, like, can you go drop a comment or like it or something? And then I'll respond to them. It doesn't have to be like they're interested in the business. Like, I'll just comment on one of my girls' posts, be like, oh, you're so pretty, or something like that, you know? And so that keeps like, and it gets other people commenting too. I don't know what it is about, they have to know that other people are commenting, but it really does help other people comment on your posts as well. So it's just something to like help each other out, and it boosts your algorithm, it boosts your posts, and I get a lot more likes whenever that happens, and then a lot more people obviously see my post.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I remember back a few months ago, we had like an engagement pod, and we put some people in that were actively working Instagram. And then whenever we would post, we would share a post to that pod, and everybody would go over and comment on it. And it's such a cool way to boost your algorithm within Instagram. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Love it.
Good. Well, so many good tips, you guys. I hope you got like a bazillion pages of notes, because there were so many good nuggets here. Krystin, thank you so much for being on our Zoom tonight. I will get this replay uploaded, and I'll send it to you in case you want to use it. And yeah, I'm just so happy you were able to join us. So thank you. Tell your hubby we said thank you. Thanks for watching the girls, kind of.
I will, yeah. And I was going to answer one question that just someone said, did I get my potentials through?
Oh, yeah.
That's how I get every single potential distributor. And pretty much all I do is live post on my posts. So I only post twice a day. And like, I'll do a filler post every now and then. But since I only post 2 times, I usually post only live posts. And so that's how I do get a lot of distributors. So to answer your last question, but I'll let you get off here now. Sorry, I keep like rambling on, but I just keep like thinking of new things to tell you guys.
No, so, that's so good. That's so good. It was just so good. Yeah, you're awesome. Well, thank you. And you guys go love on her on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank her for being on our Zoom tonight.
All right. Bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.